Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today. Actually, at the taping of this particular program, the 24 Hours of Daytona endurance race actually just ended. And in the early stages of this particular event was a pretty horrific accident. In the center of the picture here, you see three cars kind of clumped together. In front, there's two Ferrari 458 race cars that are actually side by side. The one that's kind of obscured by the car that's behind, which is the pole-winning Daytona prototype Corvette that was actually being raced by Mimo Gidley. In front of him is actually the red Ferrari 458 that was driven by Matteo Masielli. Now, Masielli was actually having a little bit of an issue with his automobile and was limping along. Mimo Gidley was following the 458 green Ferrari, and he actually swerved out to make a pass around him when the red Ferrari and Mimo Gidley's car and Masiello's car, or Matteo's car, actually came together quite horrifically. Very, very high speed. Now, Matteo was actually taken to hospital with a back injury. He's actually had surgery on it. Is supposedly resting comfortably and is talking with family and friends, which is fantastic here, especially if you get to see some of the pictures of the aftermath of this incident. The guy who hit him, which was Mimo Gidley, Mimo has actually had surgery on his left arm and left leg. He's supposedly resting comfortably. He may have had another surgery as well. He is alert and talking with friends and family. In fact, some of his racing teammates actually got to get in to the hospital room, which is fantastic news, because if you're not in at least decent shape, they won't let non-family members in. Horrific, horrific accident. I pray for a very speedy recovery for both of these guys, and especially for the help for their family and friends in this particular issue. Horrific accident, terrible thing you'd see in the early part of the Daytona 24-hour race. The video of this, if you want to check it out, it's pretty hard to watch, is on the Motor Cars Enthusiast Facebook page as we speak. Boy, it shut down the race for almost an hour and a half as they cleaned up the mess. Next up on the list, the brand new Lincoln Navigator is going to be making its official debut at the Chicago Motor Show coming up very soon. Now, this really isn't an all-new vehicle, as it is somewhat of a mid-cycle refresh. Now, it's not all aluminum like the brand new F-150, as the next generation Lincoln Navigator supposedly will be. But there are some significant changes to this vehicle. Now, this vehicle will lose the 5.4-liter normally aspirated V8 in favor of the 3.5-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6. This particular engine puts out 370 brake horsepower and 430 pounds-feet of torque. There's also a special little package rumored about that this vehicle can have. It's going to be called the Reserve Package. For a little extra cash, the vehicle gets a ton more leather treatments on the interior, including real wood trim, which is pretty significant, especially because most people don't do real wood trim, especially in some lower-end models, as is Lincoln Navigator. Pretty exciting little deal. Can't wait to hear more about it coming up in Chicago. Next up on the list, well, a couple of shows ago, we talked about a McLaren MP4-12c that was going to be trying to go head-to-head with Ferrari's brand new 458 Speciale. Well, some leaked information, maybe not official information, but at least if you've been jonesing to hear a little bit more about this will at least hold you over until this vehicle supposedly is going to make its debut in Geneva, Switzerland at the Geneva Motor Show. We're hearing rumors that this vehicle is going to be making somewhere between 625 and 650 pounds-feet of torque. The vehicle is going to get a lot of lightweight treatment, including all carbon fiber seats out of the McLaren P1. Also going to get carbon ceramic brakes, also off the P1. New, bespoke, special edition lightweight wheels with really sticky rubber on them. The vehicle will also get a ton of aero advancements, and the vehicle will supposedly look a lot more like the McLaren P1, as it's going to steal a lot of its aero efficiency stuff off of that particular model. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How much is it going to cost for this particular vehicle, especially when it comes to this much track day goodness? We're hearing rumors that this thing's going to cost 30,000 to 50,000 pounds sterling more than the car actually cost. Or in US dollars, that comes in at just a touch over 49,000 US dollars to just a touch over 82,000 US dollars for this particular package. That's over the price of what the 12C actually costs. Pretty expensive. But apparently this is so far along in the production line as far as McLaren working on this that their talk that there's the deliveries are going to be made between May and June of 2014, which is in next to no time. So it'll be interesting to hear if this vehicle does make its official debut at the Geneva Motor Show, if we get to hear a little bit more about what this thing's all about. Can't wait to hear more. Last up on the list, well, it's back. Top Gear Season 21 will be making its official debut on February 2nd on BBC 2 in the United Kingdom. Now, the boys are back as James May and Richard Hammond and Jeremy Clarkson will be back for the show. And there's going to be a lot of automotive goodness and mayhem, as it always is, in every Top Gear season. There's been a lot of stuff, photographs taken of them around the world, in exotic locales, and exotic automobiles, including Mr. Clarkson at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in that McLaren P1. Not to mention there's been a nice little, pretty entertaining little teaser videos for the next year's season. Now, as far as us here in the United States, BBC America usually shows the new season of Top Gear at least a week to 2 weeks behind the BBC Two first runnings of the Top Gear program. So it's probably somewhere around February 10th, which is the usual Monday night slot that it comes on BBC America. Hopefully know a little bit more coming up very, very soon. But cannot wait for the brand new season of Top Gear coming out on BBC. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.